Okay, in this video we're doing the 6.2, 6.3 worksheet. Problem 1, it says we're going to solve using the law of sine. And we're going to solve the triangle. Remember, solving the triangle means find all the sides that are not given. So if we're given big B, we're looking for little b. We're given C, the angle C, we're looking for side C, and we're looking for angle A. You'll be able to see that you have two angles. It's easy to find the third angle. So A is going to be equal to 180 minus 105 minus the 26, and you get 49 degrees. Then I'm going to go ahead and solve for little b, and I'm using the law of sines. Once I have that complete ratio, which is sine of A divided by little a, then I can go ahead and solve for little b because I have angle B. So I did sine of 49 over 22 is equal to sine of 105 divided by little b. I use the bat and ball method, which is the 22 times sine 105. Divide that all by sine of 49 degrees. Make sure you're in degree mode, and then you should get 28.2. Okay? Then we can solve for C by using the exact same ratio that we used earlier, which is sine of 49 divided by 22, equal that to sine of 26, the angle C, divided by little c, bat and ball, 22 sine of 26 divided by sine of 49, and you should get 12.8. Okay. So on part 2, what we're doing is we're given a complete ratio, side B and angle B, and we're given a side A, which means we can find angle A first. So set up your complete ratio. Sine of 129 divided by 60 is equal to sine of A, which we don't know what that is, divided by the side of A, which is 24. Bat and ball, 24 sine of 129 divided by 60. Okay. Remember, you can't solve for A like this. You have to take that sine and take the inverse, bring it over to the other side, and then you can put this ratio in the calculator, and you should get angle A is 18.1 degrees. Make sure you're in degree mode. Once you have A and you're given B, it's easy to find angle C by doing 180 minus angle A minus angle B, and you'll get angle C to be 32.9 degrees. Okay. Once you have C, you can go ahead and solve for little c, and I use the ratio of B. Sine of 129 degrees divided by 60 is equal to sine of C, which is 32.9 degrees divided by little c. Do your bat and ball. These two multiply together. 60 sine 32.9 divided by sine of 129. Okay. Put that in your calculator, and you should get C is equal to 41.9. All right. Okay, number 3, it says the mountain officials want to build a new ski lift from B to C, from here to here. As shown, the distance from A to C is 1520, and they measure the angle DAC to be 39 degrees, and angle DBC to be 23 degrees. What is the distance from A to B? Round your answers to the nearest foot. Okay, so the very first thing I did here was I measured this angle here, because remember, this is a straight line and this is supplementary angles. So 180 degrees minus 39 gave me the 141, which I have here. Okay, so now I have this angle and I have this angle. You can solve for the angle over here, which is 180 minus the 141 minus the 23, and we got 16 degrees here. Okay, so now we have all three angles in this triangle, and we have the opposite of the 23. So we can use the law of sine. So sine of 23 degrees divided by the 1520 would be equal to the sine of 16 degrees. I chose this one because remember, we're looking for the distance between A and B. So I put here divided by A and B. Do the bat and ball. You have 1520 times sine 16 divided by the sine of 23 degrees. Make sure you're in degree mode, and then you should get 1072.3 feet. Okay, number 4 says to consider the triangle below. Notice that we're given A, which is 64, B, which is 71, and C, which is 17. We're only given the sides. We're not given any angles. Therefore, we have to use the law of cosine. Okay, so the law of cosine, we'll be using this formula because this one is if we're given an angle A. This one is if we're given the 3 different sides. So we'll be using this form here, which I went ahead and wrote out like this. So cosine, I ended up starting with angle B because remember we need to start solve for the largest angle, and in this case, since B is the largest of the sides, we have to solve for angle B first. So 64 squared plus 17 squared minus 71 squared divided by 2 times 64 times 17. Remember, when you're solving for B here, this will be little b and the other 2 will be A and C. Okay. Alright, I went ahead and plugged this into the calculator. Let's go ahead and do that. Remember, go ahead and put everything in the numerator in parentheses. So I'm going to have 64 squared plus 17 squared minus 71 squared, all divided by 2 times 64 times 17. So here's the ratio that I got, which I have equal right here. Remember, we have a cosine B. We need to isolate the B and take this cosine over to the other side. So we need to do second cosine and then our second answer. So let's do that. And there's 107.5, which is my angle B here. Okay. Now that we have a complete ratio, we can go ahead and use the law of sine and solve for A. So sine of B, which is 107.5 degrees, divided by little b, which is 71, is equal to sine of A divided by little a, which is 64. Do bat and ball, 64 times sine of 107.5, all divided by 71. Okay. Remember here, you need to take this sine over to the other side by doing second sine and then keeping our ratio. Let's go ahead and do that here. Okay. So I'm going to do second sine. Here's my inverse, and I'm going to put in this numerator. 64 times sine of 107.5 divided by 71. 59.2, which is what I have here. The last step is to solve for angle C. You're going to get 180 degrees minus 107.5, that's angle B, minus 59.3, which is angle A, and you'll get an angle C equal to 13.2 degrees. Number 5. Number 5 says that Leah's on vacation in a tropical bay and has 3 islands. She rent a boat on island A here, plans to navigate to island C, which is 9 miles away, and then based on the figure, what is the angle she should navigate to go to island C? So basically we're looking for theta, which is this angle here. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is use the law of cosine because we don't have any of the angles, we're only given all of the sides. So cosine A is equal to B, which is 9 squared, plus C, which is 14 squared, minus A, little a, which is 10 squared, divided by 2 times 9 times 14. Once you have this ratio, you can take the inverse of cosine of that ratio and you get the approximate angle to be 45.4 degrees. Number 6, we're trying to find the area of the triangle, of the right triangle, and round your area to the nearest tenth. First thing we know, we're given 2 angles, so we'll find angle B, that's 180 minus 90 minus 53. We get that to be 37 degrees here. Okay, this is going to be labeled in side A, which is 11, and we need to find B. Okay, so first thing I did was use this ratio. I used sine of 53 divided by 11 is equal to sine of 37 degrees divided by B. Bat and ball, 11 sine 37 divided by sine of 53 gets me the side B to be 8.3. Use the area formula from your reference sheet, which is right here, and plug in your numbers, okay? I did 1/2 of 11 times this side, which is 8.3 sine of 90. Plug it in, of 45.7 square units. All right. That concludes the worksheet for 6.2, 6.3. Let me know if you have any questions.